What's up, good people? Welcome to TajeAstrology. It's time for a little astrology gossip. Let's take a look at these celebrities' astrological placements to see what they're really like behind closed doors, and take a look at the energy that's around them. Yeah, we gonna be all up in their business, but keep in mind that all readings are for entertainment purposes only. So you ready? Let's go. What's up, good people? Welcome to TajeAstrology. What's up, everyone? Salute to all my love Zodies out there. I hope all is well with you all today. I am feeling a little bit under the weather, but hey, we got to get into this business. And as y'all can see, we are going to be talking about Teyana Taylor and Pierre. All right. Now, I do want to give a shout out to Jazzy J 8545. She is the one who suggested this couple's reading today. So thank you. And I appreciate you very, very much for this couple's suggestion. I wish nothing but success to you and to yours, Miss Jazzy J 8545. All right. And then I also want to give a shout out to all my new subscribers to the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for subscribing and becoming a Love Zodi. And I wish nothing but success to you and yours as well. Make sure you drop your Zodiac sign in the comments. Hey, and if you really feeling jiggy with it, drop your hot 3. Your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign emoji in the chat. Let me know you are there. Now, before we begin this couple's reading, I also want to invite you to join my Love Zodies community on the TajeAstrology website. Okay, so www.TajeAstrology.com. Sign up, create your profile, and join the Zodi Spot group. All right, it's free, so you don't have to worry about that. And for the month of February, the month of love, y'all know I love love. I will enter everyone's name that joins the site and creates a profile into a drawing where I will be giving 3 free love profile readings. All right, so you want to do that right after watching this couple's reading. All right, y'all ready? Let's go. So today we are going to be talking about Teyana Taylor and Pierre. All right, so of course, Teyana Taylor, with the information, she was born December 10th, 1990. It'll make her 35 years old. And then born in New York City, New York. Then we have Pierre, born June 7th, 1994. So 31 years old in London, England. Now, Teyana Taylor, she is an American singer, songwriter, actress, dancer, choreographer, and music video director. Her accolades include a Golden Globe Award and 2 Critic Choice Awards, along with nominations for an Academy Award, 2 Actor Awards, a British Academy Film Award, 8 NAACP Image Awards, and a Grammy Award. All right. Now, her Sagittarius sun is, that makes her really happy, jovial. Sagittarius are bigger than life people who have a bigger than life personality. It's typically positive, but they also can be very blunt. Now, Sagittarius, they do like variety, but typically when they're locked in, they're typically locked in once their heart is in it. right? Now, that can change if that person is or becomes too negative, right? Sagittarius people, they really can't deal with the negative Nancy type of people. Now, if you take a look at her chart, at her placements here, you will see that she has a lot, and when I say a lot of Capricorn energy and influences in her chart, Sister Girl is a 6-time Capricorn in her chart. All right. And so that's like a super stellium, right? A stellium is like 3 or more, I believe, of concentrated um planets in one sign. She has 6. Okay. So that's Sagittarius sun with a lot of heavy placements. And so you can see is Capricorn moon, which is the emotions, Capricorn Mercury, which is communication, Capricorn Venus, which is like your love style, Capricorn Saturn, which is like your discipline, Capricorn Neptune is like your creativity, and then Capricorn North Node, which is like your future headed directions, goals, dreams, what have you. So with these placements, this embodies like a visionary who is grounded, disciplined, and purpose driven. At their core, she seeks truth, meaning, and growth, but they express this through patience and strategy and long-term planning rather than like spontaneity. You can rarely get a Capricorn energy person can do like spontaneous activities. They like stuff that they know is centered and grounded and sure, right? They want to make sure. They want to know for sure. So also with this energy, I would expect her to be like emotionally reserved, yet deeply loyal because Capricorn, that's earth sign. That's grounded, that's centered in this loyalty. And Capricorn energy that she probably values responsibility and stability and achievement. That's all that Capricorn energy is about. And even though her sun is Capricorn, she is almost, I mean, her sun is Sagittarius. She is almost a Capricorn, just with all this influential energy coming up. And I bet that, she probably has been taking life seriously from like a very young age. Capricorn people they're the adults of the zodiac, you know? And so love and commitment, communication and ambitions are approached cautiously and intentionally and with a strong desire to like build something lasting. And this blend creates a quiet, powerful individual, right? So idealistic in vision, practical in execution, whose life path centers on leadership, integrity, and leaving a meaningful legacy, right? So she is about her business. She is about her moolah. Uh, yeah, she's the real deal. Now let's move on to Mr. Aaron Pierre. All right. I don't know. I kind of want to say his name fancy French. I don't know why, but Aaron Pierre. All right. So Aaron Pierre, born June 7th, 1994, London, England. Um, he is an English actor. He is best known for his roles as Dev M in Krypton. Okay, so that came out 2018, 2019. Caesar Garner in The Underground Railroad. That came out like 2021. Brandon in Old. That came out like 2021. Terry Richmond in Rebels Ridge. They came out 2024. Malcolm X in Genius, 2024, and the voice of Mufasa in Mufasa, the Lion King, in 2024 as well. Now, a Gemini Sun male. Now, I've been doing the readings, and in the comments, people have been going in on Gemini. Geminis in general, but then Gemini men. Gemini men, I'm not gonna say they get a bad rap because Gemini energy be Gemini. I mean, we ain't gonna play like they don't, right? But again, we are more than just our sun sign. It's layered. We have to take into consideration our whole birth chart, right? So even though the sun is a Gemini, if you have got to take into consideration what is the emotion, the moon doing, and influenced by the Mercury. How is the communication style? The love language. What is Venus? Where is that placement? And then the Mars. So Gemini's, they stress me out a little bit. I'm not gonna play like they don't, but especially the guys in the readings. But you have to take into consideration the whole person, the whole birth uh, placement, because that is going to affect how that Gemini sun reacts. And so, with that, a Gemini sun man with a Taurus moon, Cancer Mercury, Venus Mercury, I'm sorry, Venus and Mercury Cancer, Taurus Mars blend. And this is like a blend of mental curiosity and emotional depth and steady sensuality. He is communicative, witty, and has a mental agility on the surface, but is like emotionally grounded and loyal and comfort oriented to his core. His communication and love style, that's going to be nurturing, intuitive, and protective, and often expressing care through emotional attentiveness and consistency rather than just words alone. Now, with Taurus influencing both his moon and Mars, he's going to move slow but decisive, right? Now, I'm not saying he's not going to be in his mind, not going to want to communicate, but he's going to move a little bit slow because Taurus energy is very slow in their processing, right? It's decisive, it's value and security, it's physical affection and long-term stability. So overall, he is, he's has balanced charm and intellect with emotional sensitivity, patience, and a strong desire to build safe, lasting bonds. Right now, again, I know y'all gonna be in the comments like, Gemini sun, they this, they that, and they are, but we have to take other things into consideration. All right, so let's take a look at them together. All right, let's take a look at them together. Now, Teyana, Sagittarius sun, Capricorn moon, Mercury Venus, Taurus Mars. Aaron's Gemini sun, Taurus moon, Cancer Mercury Venus, and Taurus Mars. This is a slow burn, like grown folks connection, which go earth and water grounding and just enough fire and air to keep it interesting, right? So their sun connection is like mental curiosity, mental stimulation. All right, there's opposite signs, so that's gonna equal like a fascination. They have like a playful banter and an intellectual chemistry among them. And this dynamic is freedom loving energy, right? That resists stagnation. Now their challenges is, different pacing. So the Sagittarius wants movement, Gemini wants options, commitment timing issues. So if clarity isn't established early, it can pose some challenges. And then it could be like inconsistency versus directness because Gemini kind of hedges and Sagittarius blurts. So that can be challenges within this aspect with the sun consideration. Now, for the moon, Capricorn and Taurus. So this is emotional stability and loyalty, shared need for security, routine, and tangible results, right? The calm conflict style. So neither really is like dramatic by nature. Right? They're not gonna make a big. Not saying that they won't, but typically they don't make a big dramatic situation. That's just not their nature. Now, this could create like emotional restraints, right? Because they will emotionally restrain themselves. That can create distance if they're not aware of that. And that Capricorn Taurus, I mean, it can create stubbornness on both sides. So, with that, it could create like difficulty expressing vulnerabilities unless trust is fully earned. So, that is something that they will definitely have to work on. See, so this parent is like a we build quietly energy. All right. So let's take a look at the Mercury. So we got Capricorn and Cancer. All right. So this is complementary thinking styles. All right. So you got logic plus intuition, strong decision making when they are aligned, and it's a protective communication. They really think before they speak. Right. The challenges in that, the emotional versus practical misunderstandings can occur, right? And this is also kind of like a mood-based communication. It can clash because of the structure that it creates, and with that, this can create like a silence during the conflict instead of resolution, right? They just kind of want to, like, Capricorn's going to want to retreat into work, and Cancer is going to want to retreat into their shell. Yeah. So that's definitely something that they would have to work on as well. Now, the Venus, the love language, love style. We got Capricorn and Cancer. So, they're serious about love. It's not casual. This has a strong provider, protector dynamic, and deeply loyal. Loyalty once fully committed. Now, with this Capricorn Cancer dynamic, it's different love languages, right? So Capricorn wants action, Cancer wants emotional reassurance. So Capricorn usually shows love by doing, showing, making things happen. Cancer wants that warm and fuzzy reassurance, and that might be, you know, um, too much for Capricorn if Cancer is just too needy. We know the Cancers can be a little bit needy. So with this, it could be like a fear of emotional exposure and like power dynamics around who leads emotionally. Because Capricorn, again, is the parent of the zodiac, and Cancer, I mean, they are the leaders of emotions, right? So this is like a marriage coded Venus pairing, but only if both of them feel safe. Now, taking a look at their Mars, and you got double Taurus, right? So this is extremely strong physical chemistry, endurance and consistency, shared sensual rhythms, right? Because Taurus is sensual, and Mars is that passion. So I think that they do have a good sensual, sexual dynamic. I think that they speak each other's language. Now, with this, it could produce like stalemates during a conflict. It can produce possessiveness, right? Because we know that Taurus can be a little possessive, the ownership. You are my person, don't talk to no one else kind of energy. And with this, it can produce like resentment if issues go unresolved. All right. So this placement alone can keep people stuck together for for years because they are loyal and they go in for that better or worse. And then everybody has to determine their breaking point. What is your worst? What do you consider with that? So the karmic themes, long-term themes, heavy earth dominance. All right, so this is longevity potential. You have the Cancer Capricorn axis, so that's family versus the ambitious lessons. And then you have the Taurus Scorpio nodal themes, and this is like intense bonding, attachment, transformation. This is not like a fast relationship, it just kind of matures over time. And they are still young. Yeah, they're not like babies, they're not in their teenagers, they're not in their 20s, they're in their 30s, but they're still young, right? And we know that the Saturn return happens like around 30, 32. And when you have your Saturn return, shift changes, so I think that there's like a 70-80% potential for long-term stability, right? So as long as communication doesn't shut down during emotional moments, and Gemini Sagittarius feels freedom, and their freedom is respected because both of them enjoy their freedom. They don't want to be bogged down. Sagittarius is not going to want to be bogged down with a whole bunch of negative energies, and Gemini is not going to want to be like mentally bogged down, right? And so emotional needs are verbalized and not assumed. I think that it's a high, 70-80% probability. Now, they can't bottle up their feelings. They can't become withdrawn during conflict. They can't like exert control or like emotional withdrawal. They can't do that. And stubbornness cannot replace compromise, right? It just can't. So that is something that I think that if they deal with that, if it comes up, then I think they'll be cute, cool. They are definitely cute together. They're very bold, very beautiful people. Now, Teyana has her chart. Pierre has his chart, or Aaron. I'm going to call him Pierre because I like the name. Has his chart, right? But them together, they create a we chart. So it's he, she, we, right? And so their together chart describes a relationship that is deeply emotional, intuitive, and spiritually bonded at its core. All right. And each chart has its own placements, right? And so they have like Pisces energy for their we chart, and that sets the tone for compassion, empathy, and romantic idealism. And together, this creates powerful sense of emotional merging. Both partners feel profoundly connected, but also vulnerable during blurred boundaries and unrealistic expectations if the relationship is not grounded in reality. Okay, so this is their we chart. Now, communication within the bonds is driven. Their we chart has an Aries Mercury, and that gives the relationship a direct, fast moving, and sometimes impulsive voice. Issues are rarely buried, which is good, but they can express sharply in moments of emotional intensity. So their we chart, they're going to have to kind of make sure that they're not, when they do start communicating, that it's not too sharp, right? Because their Aries is kind of leading their Mercury in their we chart. Now, the emotional style of the relationship, it seeks harmony and partnership because their moon influence is influenced by Libra, and that's the relationship sign. So reinforcing the strong desire to maintain balance, fairness, and mutual consideration, even when deeper tensions exist. The physical and motivational energy bond is stabilized by Taurus, We talked about that earlier, and it indicates a slow burn passion because Taurus is not. If you know anything about Taurus, they're gonna take their time, right? And so when you have that's a strong attachment, and it's resistant to sudden change once committed, established. So you know, even when they get to the point, if they get to the point where they're kind of sick of each other, it may take a little bit time to get to that finality of it, just with that Taurus energy. um, growth and growth and meaning like comes through practicality and mutual improvements because their Jupiter energy is influenced by Virgo. All right, so that suggests that the relationship thrives when both partners support each other's daily lives and health and long-term goals. Okay, and so their sun, so their structural lessons, there is emphasized by Aquarius energy. And that's pointing to unconventional circumstances like timing challenges or the need to redefine commitment outside of your traditional expectations, right? So they're okay if they don't look like what people think that they should look like, right? They're moving on their own timing, right? um the pairing of the like their Uranus influence and their Neptune influence in their wheat chart, that is governed by like the Capricorn energy. So highlights a shared drive to build something lasting and meaningful through dreams, and it must be supported by discipline to avoid like delusion delusion or delusionment, right? At a deeper level, their Pluto influence in their wheat chart is Scorpio, right? And so this makes a transformational all or nothing connection that reshapes both individually, emotionally, and psychologically during the relationship. And it's never casual, and it's or easily forgotten. So they are making a mark on each other's life, right? Transformation, psychological, emotional. They are making a mark on each other's lives, right? And this connection is, they're not going to have step with it. It's going to be all or nothing, right? And so when we look at the North Node and the South Node, North Node for their wheat chart is Sagittarius. And so this indicates that the purpose of the relationship is growth through honesty, truth, and expansion, and moving away from mixed signals or maybe like over analyzing, uh, which Gemini, which is their south node in their wheat chart, could do. Now, there's Chiron. All right, Chiron reveals the core wounds around recognition, pride, and feeling like fully seen. This is, Chiron is the wounded healer. So making validation and appreciation essential for emotional safety, right? So they need to make sure that they focus on validating each other and showing appreciation. This is going to be like necessary for their union to thrive. Um, and so their overall we chart describes it's a soulful and meaningful bond, right? With strong longevity potential. And that's provided that the emotional boundaries, clear communication, and realistic expectations are consciously, let me get my words out, maintained, right? So I like their chart. I think it has a really grounded, earthy, even though Gemini is air, it still has uh the earthy water influence, if you would, right? So this connection is not really flashy. It is kind of rooted. Um, it favors like building, protecting, and growing rather than just like chasing sparks. So if they choose each other consciously, this is a kind of bond that can last quietly and deeply. But if they don't, it becomes a long lasting attachment and emotional maturity. once they get, once they grow and mature, yeah, and they're not putting their higher selves together. If they feel, that they're moving in different directions, then they're not able to communicate that and recognize, okay, this is becoming an attachment as opposed to a relationship. Uh, then it may not work. But I feel good about their relationship. They're at a good age where they're coming into themselves. Um, I think that they have the placements to they have what it takes to make it work. But with all relationships, communication is very important. I stress this. Transparency is very important, as well as being able to receive the information that your partner is giving to you, and to not take anything personal, but to see how you can apply it for self growth, as well as like relationship growth. All right. So I like the chart. I like it. It has a good feel to it. They have a good feel to it. So, and as I say, I read the placements. People are not bound by their placements. The placements are the placements with their energy, and people will act. Pardon me. They will act as they will. You know. So, all right, my love Zodies, that is all that I have for today. Make sure now that we finished the reading that you head over to TajeAstrology, create your profile, join, create your profile, and to be put into the running or the drawing to potentially win a love profile reading. Okay, I'll do the reading. I mean the drawing probably at the end of the month, just to get like a whole month's worth and of time. I really should have done this like last month, but I just decided to do it a few days ago. So I will do the actual drawing, say the last day of the month, and I will announce the winners of the ones who receive the free love profile at the end of the month. All right, so make sure that y'all hit the like button on your way out the door. Don't forget to drop y'all the zodiac signs, emojis in the chat. Comment, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. What y'all think about them? Do you think it's gonna last? What do you think about the dynamics between their placements? And yeah, I'll see you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Salute, salute.